Here's an eggplant dish you can serve as an entree or a side. I usually serve this as part of a multi-course dinner. It's fun to make and even better to eat. Hope you enjoy it. You'll need about 2 hours. We'll start by preparing the eggplant. You'll need 2 large eggplants. Cut them in half. Coat the baking tray with olive oil and place the eggplants face down on the tray. Preheat the oven to 400 degrees and bake the eggplants for 40 minutes. Remove from oven and turn them over and bake at 400 degrees for another 10 to 15 minutes. They should look like this after 10 to 15 minutes. If they don't, then bake them for another 10 minutes and check to make sure they're not burning. Take them out of the oven and let them cool for about 15 minutes. Turn the eggplants over. The skin should look wrinkled like this and they should feel soft. Once they're cool, cut the end off of the eggplant, grab the skin from the edge, and start peeling the skin. It should peel off fairly easily. If the skin doesn't come off easily, then you'll need to bake them until they're soft enough. Unfortunately, the baking time really depends on the eggplant. Approximate total baking time is about 50 minutes. Once the eggplants are peeled, place them back into the baking dish. Mince some coriander stems and garlic. I've minced 4 cloves. Coat the eggplants with some olive oil, salt and pepper, the minced garlic and coriander stems. Next, we're going to start mashing the eggplant. You can use a blender if that's easier. I like the consistency I get with a masher. Continue mashing the eggplants until you get this consistency. We're going to set this aside for now and start the spicy tomato sauce. You'll need 3 large tomatoes, 1 large onion and ½ inch of ginger. Dice the onions and tomatoes and mince the ginger. Also have some minced coriander leaves and stems ready. For your spices, have a few dried red peppers, 1 1/4 teaspoons of cumin seeds, few methi seeds, 1/4 teaspoons of Asafetida powder, few cloves, whole black pepper seeds, and about 4 to 5 green cardamom pods. We're going to call this spice mix number 1. For spice mix number 2, separately have 2 1/2 teaspoons of coriander, 1 1/2 teaspoons of garam masala, ½ a teaspoon of red pepper, 1 1/2 teaspoons of paprika, and ½ a teaspoon of turmeric. Feel free to adjust the amount of spices to your taste. Click on the Show More link to get the list of spices. Let's start cooking. Heat some olive oil in a medium-sized saucepan. Once heated, add the onions and ginger and saute them until the onions start browning. Add spice mix number 1 and saute for about a minute. Add spice mix number 2 and saute for about 30 seconds. Mix in the minced coriander stems and saute for about 30 seconds. Add the tomatoes. And mix them in well with the onions and spices. Mix in about 1 1/4 teaspoon of salt or salt to your taste. Cover this and allow it to cook for 10 to 15 minutes. Once the tomatoes soften, and it should come to a thick, saucy consistency like this, we can now add the eggplant. Sprinkle in some coriander leaves and start folding the eggplant into the sauce until the sauce is completely mixed into the eggplant. Once finished, it should look like this. In a separate pot, I've sauteed 1 cup of green peas in 2 tablespoons of butter, half a teaspoon of cumin, and garam masala for about 3 to 4 minutes. If you're using frozen peas, make sure they are fully defrosted and rinsed. Add the green peas to the eggplant and fold them in. And we are done. Garnish the eggplant with some coriander leaves. You can serve this as a side or as a main course. I typically serve it with rice and lentils. Conveniently, I've made some lentils and steamed rice to go along with the eggplant. And here it is. We're ready to dig in. Enjoy.